So, you're a dog owner in Westland, Michigan, and you know you need a trainer. But where do you even start? It can feel like a lot, for sure. Well, this guide is designed to give you a really clear, step-by-step path to making a great choice for both you and your dog. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why training is so helpful specifically for life here in Westland. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of finding a qualified trainer and picking a program that actually fits your life. After that, we'll arm you with some must-ask questions for when you meet them, and we'll wrap up with some local rules and resources you'll want to know about. All right, first up, training for life right here in Westland. The whole point of this is pretty simple, right? It's about making your everyday life with your dog way more enjoyable and a whole lot less stressful. I mean, think about it. You're trying to take a walk near the Westland Shopping Center, or maybe you're at Central City Park for a community event. With a calm, well-behaved dog by your side, those kinds of outings go from being a total headache to something you actually look forward to. It really changes everything. Okay, so how do you find that person who can help you get there? Let's break down what you should be looking for in a great trainer. And we're going to start with the most important thing, their training philosophy. So, the method that modern behavior experts recommend most is positive reinforcement. And no, it's not just about bribing your dog with cookies. It's a way of teaching that's all about rewarding your dog when they make a good choice. This approach builds a really strong, trusting partnership between the two of you. And this quote really just says it all. The great thing about positive reinforcement is that it's not just for teaching sit and stay. It's a super versatile approach that works for everything, from just basic puppy manners all the way up to helping a dog with more serious issues, like fear or reactivity. Now, those letters after a trainer's name, they actually matter. Certifications show that a trainer has met professional standards and is committed to their craft. For example, a CPDT KA means they've passed a pretty tough exam on training knowledge. And if you see something like IAABC-CDBC, that usually means they have specialized skills for more complex behavior challenges. Okay, so you know what to look for in a trainer's approach. Now it's time to actually pick a program. This is where we get into the practical side of things, finding the right format for you and figuring out a realistic budget. The two most common options you'll see are group classes and private sessions. Group classes, they're awesome for teaching your dog to pay attention to you even when other dogs and people are around. But if you're dealing with problems that happen inside your house, like say bolting out the front door or stealing food off the counter, private in-home training is perfect for that. And beyond those two, you've got a couple of other options. There's day training, where a trainer works with your dog one-on-one while you're busy. Then there's board and train, which is much more intensive. That's where your dog actually stays with the trainer for a period of time to get some really focused learning in. And of course, we've got to talk about cost. This chart gives you a ballpark idea of average prices you might see around Westland for 2026. You know, a typical 6-week group class could be a few $100, while something like a board and train is obviously a much bigger investment. Just remember, these prices can vary a lot based on the trainer's experience and what's included in the program. So you've found a few trainers you're interested in. The next step is a consultation call or meeting. And knowing what to ask is absolutely essential to make sure you're finding the right match for you and your dog. The very first thing you'll want to ask is this. Their answer should sound a lot like that positive reinforcement method we just talked about. And having them walk you through a typical session gives you a real feel for how they work and how they'll interact with your dog. Next up, don't be afraid to ask about their credentials. This isn't just about confirming they know their stuff. Asking how they continue their education is also really important. The science of animal behavior is always changing, and you want someone who is committed to keeping their skills up to date. You know, training should never be a one-size-fits-all thing. This question makes sure the trainer is thinking about your dog's individual personality and, just as important, your specific lifestyle here in Westland. A good trainer will always create a customized plan just for you. All right, let's bring it all back home to Westland, because good training isn't just about what happens in a session. It's about being a responsible dog owner who knows our local rules and the best spots to practice those new skills. Okay, here is a really key local rule to know. In Westland, there's a city ordinance that says leashes can't be longer than 6 feet in any public area. This is exactly why practicing good, loose leash walking skills is so important for having safe and legal walks around town. Here are a few other quick rules to keep in mind. State law requires a rabies vaccination, and you have to keep that tag on your dog's collar. Also, it's good to be aware that excessive barking can become a noise complaint with your neighbors, which, hey, is another thing good training can definitely help with. So once you start training, where can you go to practice? Well, the Westland Dog Park is an amazing spot for working on coming when called in a safe, fenced area. The pathways in Hines Park are perfect for leash skills with all sorts of distractions, and Central City Park is a great place to work on just being calm around general noise and activity. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about, making your life with your dog better. A well-trained dog makes every one of those walks down Hines Drive, every visit to a friend's backyard, and every trip to the park more relaxed and fun for absolutely everyone. Happy training.